is time for yet another episode of the Chamwada Report. Now, previously we highlighted long-term and short-term measures that could ease traffic flow in Nairobi, and from the feedback we got from our viewers, it is apparent that courtesy on the road is a key virtue that could bring a positive impact towards that cause. In this show, we delve deeper into that issue. We will look into what the county government of Nairobi is doing as short-term measures in order to address the problem of attitude and behavior among motorists, pedestrians and passengers. For instance, now we can see the so-called yellow boxes at junctions. We'll find out what that is meant to achieve.
Green means you go, but where are you going to? Because ahead of you, the direction you're supposedly going is already locked up. So where are you going?
That bad behavior on our road is actually costing the economies a lot.
In the Kenyan case, the question is just who is in charge of enforcement?
Any enforcement agency can enforce that. Remember, we are not working in silos.
Felix, unajua maana ya hii yellow box?
Hii yellow box nimeiona tu kwa gazeti juzi, but sijajua maana yake kamili ni nini.
Also the pedestrians, they cross anyhowly.
That and more on this show. I'm your host, Alex Chamwada. But first, here is a look at the fact sheet. Nairobi was ranked in a survey conducted in 2011 by the International Business Machines Corporation, IBM, as the fourth most painful city when it comes to commuting in a sample of 20 cities in the world. The survey, known as the Global Commuter Pain Index, found that motorists in Nairobi spend many hours looking for parking even after spending many painful and costly hours in traffic on the road. With the worst city being Mexico City, followed by Shenzhen City in China, then Beijing, Nairobi, Johannesburg and Bangalore in India. Others are New Delhi and Moscow. 61% of those interviewed in Nairobi reported traffic as a key inhibitor to work or school performance. Although the survey was done in 2011, experts say the situation could have worsened due to the ever-increasing number of private vehicles in the city.
One of the issues we have as a country is the high number of people who prefer to use private means to workplaces as opposed to what we call the public transport system. And why so? I think it's been for a long time the public transport system, the PS industry, has not been very friendly, has been a bit disorganized, making it not comfortable for majority of the, especially employed, the working class, to use the public transport system to their workplaces. What is it that we are doing? One of the things that we are doing in conjunction with the Ministry of Transport is to come up with a bus rapid transit system. And there's a consultant who have been engaged by the ministry to do extensive studies. And 5 corridors have been identified in Nairobi that will incorporate this mode of transport. And development of infrastructure is going to suit or is going to go through the mass rapid transit system.
Time now for the new developments in Nairobi's central business district, and you may have noticed the introduction of yellow markings, or what are known as yellow boxes, at various junctions. First, signs and warnings like this, "Do not proceed until the exit is clear," have been in existence at many junctions. Meaning, even if traffic light turns green, you should not move until it is clear ahead for you to proceed without finding yourself stopping in the middle of the junction. But motorists ignore those warnings. The Nairobi County Executive Committee member for Roads, Transport and Public Works, Mohamed Abdullahi, says the new markings are part of short-term measures that could lead to change of behavior.
This is not something new we are introducing. It's been there in the past. What we are saying is that because we are seeing an increased number of motor vehicle registration in Nairobi, the situation is getting worse by the day. So we have to keep experimenting things here and there to ensure that Nairobi keeps moving.
But there is still a lot of confusion at the junctions despite the new measures. For example, this is Harambe Avenue, Moi Avenue junction, and clearly it is either a case of impunity or these motorists have no idea what they should have done to avoid finding themselves in the box.
Green means you go, but where are you going to? Because ahead of you, the direction you're supposedly going is already locked up. So where are you going? So what you are saying is that yes, your green might ask you to go, but if you're not going anywhere, please be considerate and let somebody who's supposed to be going, whose exit is clear to pass. So it's just courtesy.
So in Kenya, giving way is not a common practice. Everyone is in a hurry, everyone wants to go. For example, here, look at this box. This yellow box means you should not be found stationary here, you should be moving. In other words, even if the lights turned green, you should not proceed until you are sure that ahead is clear for you to proceed. But many motorists are not observing that.
Kwa gari ndogo, unajua gari yenye iko mbele huwezi ona kama zile gari ziko mbele zimeclear ile box. So definitely ukifuata ile gari kwa nyuma ya hizo gari utapata kama umebaki kwa zile box katikati.
Nangu ni Felix Rotich. Yeah.
Felix, unajua maana ya hii yellow box?
Hii yellow box nimeiona tu kwa gazeti juzi, but sijajua maana yake kamili ni nini. Yeah. But I saw vile nimeona kwa gazeti wanasema they are intending to introduce, siko najua imeintroduciwa kitambo.
Mimi niliziona zimepakwa, hata mwenyewe nikajiuliza ni za nini. Lakini ilipotangazwa maana yake ni usibroke the other way. Unaona vile wa Kenya tunafungania hivi na pengine raini yangu ingesonga. Sasa hiyo nirudi kusikia hiyo ndio itasaidia. Na ni mzuri juu Nairobi imekuwa na sijui magari ni mengi zaidi, watu wametajirika nini sijui.
Nitakuwa na ngojea mataa ikinipatia yero nisiingie kwa hiyo box. Nikiona pande nyingine hakuna mahali ya kwenda wadai nisimame.
A relief for motorists as the new rule has yet to attract penalties.
For now, what we are doing is just create sensitization so that for the next 2 months we are having a discussion on how these junctions can be able to operate effectively. And hopefully in 2 months' time, everybody at least will have been made aware. The conversation will be active, but in about 2 months' time, we want now to start enforcing the penalties.
But when this comes into force, what will be the penalty?
Right now, if you are to be caught and you're charged under the laws as they are today, depending on what the judge decides, you can be charged anything between up to even a maximum of 50,000 shillings or 1 year in jail. But when the instant fines come, we are looking at an instant fine of about 5,000 shillings on the spot.
But there are those who have argued that this cannot be enforced because the new markings are not in the Traffic Act. So you can only enforce what is in the Traffic Act. Is that the case?
We are sensitizing, and like you know, we are reviewing the Act. We hope that we can have it captured under the instant penalties so that when you're caught in about 2 months' time when these penalties are gazetted, because what we are doing now is public participation. So after 2 months, I'm sure nobody can argue that they were not informed.
However, there may be no such boxes at every junction. Abdullahi says it should just be common sense to give way if you know you are not going anywhere. Now in Kenya, it's argued that the biggest problem is just impunity, that people run away with crime. People commit traffic offenses, but they are not punished. And then there are those who are able to evade maybe because of their position in society.
I think because we've degenerated into a society that does not follow regulation. And this is what we need to start addressing. We need to reclaim our dignity as a society and to be a bit courteous, learn to obey the rules, because that is what makes all of us a sober society.
We will do a lot of awareness as an authority to the public. We will also work with enforcement officers to ensure that those who are not behaving the right way are apprehended and they are charged for that.
Now, some people say we are confused. We see the county government, marshals, we see police officer, we see NTSA. Who enforces?
Who enforces? I think any enforcement agency can enforce that. Remember, we are not working in silos. At the end of the day, we work for the same people. We are working for the people of the Republic of Kenya. Regardless of whether it is the traffic police or the Nairobi County traffic marshals or the NTSA enforcement officers, it doesn't matter. So long as we can create order in the city of Nairobi, for me, I think I'll sleep well at night.
Apart from blocking junctions, other common practices that lead to congestion are obstruction, overlapping, driving on pavements and pedestrian walkways, as well as picking and dropping passengers at the wrong places.
Public transport operators picking people on the road, dropping them on the road, not moving when they're supposed to be moving. I mean, this is a very notorious junction, a notorious road, because these guys want to build the passenger numbers, will drag their movement on this road and not move when the exit is supposed to be clear. So that also now affects the people who are driving behind them.
Other places where congestion is common due to bad driving behavior are roundabouts, where some motorists, contrary to law, change lanes, therefore causing confusion. Another traffic rule that is commonly ignored is the use of indicators, an omission that can lead to accidents, hence slowing traffic. In this clip, observe how motorists are overtaking here on Mombasa Road without indicating.